our first guest of the day. It's LA Dodgers slugger, Mr. Walk-Off, Max Muncy, joining us right now. Max, great to see you, dude. And before we get to all the game action, I do have a question that I want to spill over from our last combo. How many hours of sleep per night do you get? And did you hear us talk about Yusei Kikuchi's insane sleep schedule?
My answer to that is not 11. I'll tell you that.
So not 13 or 14 either, which is how much he's getting per night. And he said he had cramping because he only got to 11.
Yeah, definitely not that amount.
Give me a guess. An average during the season. An average.
When I'm at home, we're looking at, if it's a good night with the kids, we're looking at 7 to 8 hours probably.
Okay. And a bad night? I don't want to know.
Not that.
Unbelievable. When you have an infant, man, it's tough to do, man. Been down that road, understandably. Hey, let me ask you this: if you had to pick right now, who's the NL MVP in your eyes?
Well, that's tough for me. If you go off of offense only, it's definitely Acuña. But it's the most valuable player. You're talking about defense also. So to me, when you add in what Mookie brings to the table with defense, it's really a tough call.
Max, you think Freddie's in that conversation too, right? I mean, with Mookie.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should have.
Freddie's about to have more doubles than anyone's had in the last, 30 years, something like that?
Century. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great race this year.
It's going to be an unbelievable
and it's two
race.
dudes on two different teams,
Yeah, I think right now with the stolen bases that Acuña has, that's pretty phenomenal too as well. I mean, you can't be wrong with either choice. I think that's the toughest part. You got 4 or 5 guys you could put in a hat and flip out one, and it's just like I think you're happy to have 2 of them on your team, I would assume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not complaining about that. It's been fun to watch. It's been great for the sport of baseball. What Acuña's been doing with the stolen bases and everything has been, it's really eye-popping. Freddie got into a pretty elite club the other night, getting his 20th stolen base, so that's cool to watch also.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to you, Mr. Walk-Off. Do those get old for you at all? And can you take us through the exact agenda for you after you pull off an accomplishment like that, which obviously is super cool individually, but for the team? What's the moment that happens? Are you looking around nobody, smoked me, nobody hit me too hard. We got a long way to go here still. Because that was actually pretty tame. It looks like, you guys have done this once or 100 times.
Yeah, we've definitely done it quite a few times, but it was more just, hey, we got the job done, time to celebrate it a little bit and, just enjoy it. We would kind of have our thing we do in the clubhouse after we win a series. So that was really more what everyone was focused on, was what we did in the clubhouse. And then most important thing for me is don't get surprised by that water bucket. You got to spot who's bringing that thing out, and don't get surprised by it.
What's the clubhouse thing that you guys do? Because I saw you guys on the road when you clinched have all the neon lighting lined up in the clubhouse. I'm a big fan, but what's the deal?
Yeah,
is it something that we can talk about?
It's Club Dub. You get the lights off, you get the neon lights going, the smoke machine. We have a bubble machine, which is great for the kids that come in the clubhouse. They like to chase all the bubbles around. It's just we have a good time in there.
So is it safer to, when you're rounding first and the winning run scores, is it safer just to take your jersey out for them? Or is that a no?
Yeah,
I mean that could be that could be a tactic you go with. Just start unbuttoning your jersey right away. Yeah. That way it rips off easier. It's sometimes those buttons hold pretty good.
I just fear a neck being snapped back, trying to rip that jersey off. So help them out, right?
Yeah, what's funny is there's always the one guy that tries to get the cheap shots in there, just throw a jab into the stomach. There's always that one guy.
Is that Kike?
No, the last night was pretty tame. Although someone got me with a rosin bag pretty good. I don't know who did that.
Wow.
Well, there's good news. Everything is on video these days. So if you need to, hit the replay room before the game, you'll be able to find out, just in case you have to return the favor at some point, over the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. All right. So let me ask you this, because you've played the Braves. We've talked about them. Obviously, it'd be really cool if your two teams meet up in the playoffs. It was a great battle. Who do you think, besides the Braves, is the best team that you've seen this year in terms of talent and overall? A team where you're like, damn, they'd be tough in the playoffs. Is there a specific ball club that stands out?
We just got done playing Seattle, and that's probably the most complete pitching staff I think that we've seen. That was, what they have up there in terms of arms is really special. They struggle a little bit on the offensive side, but that's definitely not a team that'd be fun to face in the playoffs. I know that. That's some serious pitching they got.
Let me ask you this. So you're sitting on 35 home runs. Your career best is 36. I've asked this to a bunch of guys. Do you have set goals that you have in mind you write down before the season, and was getting over 36 one of them home run wise?
After last year and the injury that I had, for me, it was kind of just having a productive year, a productive year up to my standards. That was really just kind of my goal. Hitting 30 home runs, that was huge for me. The biggest one for me was getting 100 RBIs. It's the first time I've ever done that in my career. I've gotten to upper 90s several times, but I've never gotten to 100. So, for me, that was a pretty cool one.
Max, have you thought about the Dodgers having some type of career resurrection club? Because, we've talked about your story and Justin Turner's story, Chris Taylor. Jason Heyward's got to join the list now, right? He was great when he started his career. He had ups and downs. I mean, he's a well above average offensive performer this year, looking at his numbers. I mean, he's 280. His OPS plus is 129. This dude's having an awesome year for you guys.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. And, you can look at all the numbers you want. The one thing that's not going to show up, though, is what he brings in the clubhouse. And, for anyone that's played with Jay, they know that that's the best clubhouse guy you can be around. He's such a glue in there, and he's such a great guy. He's such a great teammate. Everyone loves being around him, loves hanging out with him, and he really kind of cements the clubhouse. And you add that on top of what he's been doing on offense and especially on defense. I think he's been one of the best right fielders in all of baseball, which is kind of crazy considering we have Mookie Betts, who's supposed to be playing right field for us, but he's playing second base. That shows what kind of impact that Jason's had alone right there, is that, Mookie's been getting to play a lot more second just so we can have Jason out there at right field.
Have you seen anything or spoken to him about anything that he felt like really helped him click offensively consistently this year? I know he's tinkered with his swing a lot. He's one of those guys. Some guys never change and some guys change all the time. But have you gotten to talk to him or see anything about him? Because you've also faced him over the years for a long time.
I think it's I've talked to him a little bit, but I think it's more just like a believing in yourself again type thing. And that's something that the Dodgers do so well. And, we don't try to reinvent anything over here. We try to just get you back to your basics, get you back to your roots. And, Jason was already a really great player, and he just got away from his swing a little bit. And so for our hitting guys, I think it was just getting him back to his roots. And, that's definitely been what's happening for him. And, he's been taking off. He's been having a great year, and, everyone is so happy for him.
So Max, we talked yesterday about if we could go to any ballpark and watch any game for whatever reasons, what would you pick? So I picked Dodger Stadium for a couple reasons. I only mentioned one of them yesterday. One reason is because the water pressure of the showers were so legit. I want to know if they're still that good. They were the best in the league. But number two, the grass, the Dodger Stadium grass, is that the best in the league still? Please tell me yes.
Yeah, our playing surface is definitely top notch. This year it's been a little bit different because they redid the entire field over the off season, and it was a really cold and wet winter, so it's been taking a long time for the field to kind of settle in. But yeah, our playing surface is definitely one of the best in baseball. And as for the water pressure, on the home side we have just okay water pressure, but there's definitely some folktale stories about the old visiting clubhouse, how it was basically just a fire hose.
That's exactly.
Wait, how is? But that's
exactly
like a home field disadvantage. Why is it like that?
It was the firmest water pressure you'll ever have.
Really?
Yeah.
But the water would come high though, the level. So you got to
like a little too much. You got to be careful.
No,
yeah. Everyone always said you had to be the first one in there, otherwise you're knee deep in water.
Yeah, you're taking a bath in there. Yeah.
Oh, because the drain can't handle it.
it comes out so hard. But it's
Wow.
like it's not painful. It's certain spots in your body. It'll be painful if you know where I'm
Yeah,
going
of
with.
course, of course.
So you got to wear your cup
for your back, it's like a good
wear
massage.
your cup when you're getting
Yeah.
showered.
Or go in there alone. So.
This is really why we do this show. I mean, this is where we find out the good stuff.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that before. Didn't even really think about it, but it's
No.
important, especially if you're apartment shopping too and you don't own the
Yeah,
place.
there's two
You need
places
good-
that most people talk about. It's the old clubhouse at Dodger Stadium and old Miami, from what I've heard. I never got to play there, but I heard the
At
water
Joe
pressure
Robbie?
there was
Danny
pretty
would
much
know.
a joke.
I played
yeah.
there for a series too. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a joke there. It wasn't as good as Dodger Stadium, but I can tell you that's the only shower that I actually threw my spikes at. Like, because I never got mad, but I got so mad that day for whatever reason, and I chucked my spikes in the shower and left them there.
Wow.
Yeah.
They might still be there. Hey, let me get to Brusdar Graterol. Super cool moment for him. I don't know how much you got to observe from it, but that he was able to reconnect with his mom. And cool, we have some pictures here too for the crowd that's actually getting to watch and not just listen on the pod. But what did you get to see? And just for humanizing the sport, how much people can get from a player who's separated from family for 7 years. He hadn't been able to reunite with his mother until she hit a game last night.
Yeah, it was a very emotional moment for everyone on the team. Brusdar is, for anyone that knows him, that moment last night was extremely special. I can't even imagine, what it's like for your mom to not be able to have ever seen you pitch in a professional baseball game, and she gets to come over and gets to watch you pitch at Dodger Stadium. It's a really cool moment, and I know the Dodgers helped out a lot with that, and it was special. Everyone was so excited for him, and he handled it pretty well considering, but I don't know that I would have been able to compete in that moment. I'd have lost it a little bit.
Let me ask you this. That is such a special moment. I'm a big family guy like you as well. I'm change gears here just for a second. I'm curious. You a lot of people that come to these games at Dodger Stadium, a lot of celebrities. Is there like a celebrity who are you like in awe to meet one time or to see at the stadium where you're like, man, this is pretty real. This is surreal right now that this man or girl, woman is at the stadium right now?
It happens so much. You do get a little numb to it. For me, it was always Tommy when Tommy was still alive. It was you talk about probably one of the absolute baseball legends. To always see Tommy is that one was always kind of awe inspiring for me. But it is crazy because all the celebrities are such big Dodger fans. They all know your story, and it's they'll come to the clubhouse every now and then, and Bryan Cranston was at the game the other night. The guy from Breaking Bad, and he comes up. He said, "Hey, how's your kids doing? You got two of them now." And you're kind of like, "Oh man, this guy knows about me. That's cool." And so it's those little moments to me are always the ones that are the coolest.
And my next question to you is, I was curious because we always heard, in baseball, there's always these rumors and things you hear. Did Magic Johnson sign jerseys for you guys in spring training and leave them at your locker when the season started? Does he do that every year, or was it just 1 year thing?
No, he does it. He does it pretty much every year. When you come into the clubhouse, you have a nice goodie bag waiting for you. And this year we got a basketball and 4 jerseys. And he switches up the jerseys every year. I have a Dream Team jersey. I have a Michigan State jersey. I have all the Laker jerseys. It's pretty cool. I got them hanging up. It's that's a pretty cool moment. He does that for the guys on the team every year usually.
Now let me ask you this: like, if you get called up too, does that guy get them too, or is it just beginning of the year thing?
It's whenever he hands them out. If it's at the beginning of the year, you better hope you're on the team. If it's halfway through the year,
how cool is that, dude?
Yeah, so it's just it's whenever he decides to hand them out that if you have a locker, you get one.
That's awesome.
Can we be like your honorary assistants that day? Like whenever it happens, just I mean, I can't imagine that. That's got to be so cool, dude.
Yeah, it's a really cool moment. That's being in LA, we get a lot of cool perks like that. Nike always sends us a pair of Kobe's at some point. that one's pretty special. The guys always love that. They went pretty cool this year. They had the neon green ones. A lot of us have been wearing those, for batting practice and stuff. So
That's cool.
Magic gives up the jerseys. There's always celebrities walking in and out of the clubhouse, and we even had Denzel Washington at one point. Even though he's a huge Yankee fan, he was in the clubhouse just because it's LA, and so it's it's always a cool experience. You get to meet all these celebrities and stuff, and especially with Mookie. Mookie's always got guys coming into the clubhouse too. We've had Nelly in there. Lil Wayne's been through. Just all these guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, the name dropping that the Dodgers can do is like top notch.
Yes, sir.
It is. Max, question for you. I don't know if you saw, there's been a few stories out of San Diego about, obviously that team, it's no secret. They spent a ton of money. There's a ton of talent. It became a little bit of a rivalry with you guys, and they fell apart. So, there's stories about not a good clubhouse culture, and Machado spoke for a while about, that kind of being overrated to an extent. Just wanted to get your take from a player perspective on what that means. Like what is clubhouse culture? Does it matter when, say, a superstar is out there early? Do guys really resonate with the player that's been in the league for a while, who's, working on something? Can you just give me a little more insight on what that means? Because we talk about it so much. Like, can you define it for a team, and if you've seen it stand out or not?
Yeah, I can't really speak on the Padres situation because I don't, I'm not there. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what they're dealing with or what's going through. But I know for us, we have our routine, and guys have their routine that they do every single day. And Freddie and Mookie, they're out there taking early ground balls every single day. And you obviously have to be smart about it. You can't be overdoing it, but they have their routine, and that's what we try to stress is, hey, you have your routine that you're going to do every single day, whether you're playing good, playing bad, feeling good, feeling bad. You go through your routine, and then once you're done, you're done. And that's something that we've always had over here, and it really kind of starts with Kirsch. Kirsch has his routine he does every 5 days, and every day is the same for him. He shows up, he gets his work in, and then once his work is done, there's probably no one that has more fun in the clubhouse, in the dugout than that guy does. But it's only after he gets all of his work done. And for us, having a good clubhouse is kind of what makes it easy for us to win. Is hey, if we have this certain situation, we know that this guy's going to go out there regardless of who he is, and he's going to get the job done. He's going to do what he can to get the job done. It's baseball. It's hard. You're not always going to accomplish it, but you can see it in what they're trying to do, that they're trying to do that job. Whether it's you're a late inning bullpen guy that's opening a game for us, or we need you to move a runner over even though you're a big RBI guy. Just something as simple as that. There's no one in the clubhouse that questions it because we're all for each other, and that's something that we've always had.
Yeah, it's well said, man. Yeah, and I know the young guys appreciate that, and they talk about that a lot, on teams that you've been on, including this year's team. Max, great catching up, man. Congrats on the walk-off, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Thanks a lot, guys. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks.
Max Muncy of the LA Dodgers. And we'll come back. We'll go over